What's going on, everybody? Steve here with Rake and Profit. Today we are joined by Karen and Jason from the Thrifty Flamingo YouTube channel. And the title of today's show is From Zero to $36,000. You heard it right. Selling on Poshmark in 1 year. So I want to welcome these guys. What's happening? How you guys doing?
Good, Steve.
Hi. Hello.
We're excited to be on the show.
Definitely excited.
Super pumped up, guys. If you guys don't know, they have a YouTube channel, the Thrifty Flamingo. So be sure to go check them out. But yeah, they live in Connecticut. We're actually getting ready to connect. We're hosting a meetup, the Connecticut Thrifting Meetup, and we're all getting together. We're thrifting on April 12th, Thursday, all day long. We booked a hotel. We're going out to dinner. We're all going to be masterminding. So super pumped up for that. But let's get right into your story. So who are you guys? What's your story? And how in the world did you find yourself on the Rake and Profit show talking about Poshmark?
How in the heck did I ever start Poshmark? Well, I didn't ever know what reselling was. I didn't understand it. I discovered Poshmark when I lost weight and I needed to get new clothes, and I was looking online for cheap clothes, and you know, Facebook, they'll like pop up things that are relevant to your searches. And then it was hey, yeah. So Poshmark app, buy and sell used in new clothing. And I was like, okay, cool. And I downloaded the free app, and yeah, so I did that for a little bit. And at first it was just me liquidating my clothes because that were too large for me, and then like buying smaller clothes. And I was feeling great about myself. I was working out, I was eating proper, and feeling great, but I wasn't looking great because all my clothes were so big on me. And I started getting all these new clothes, and he's like, where are you getting
where'd you get these clothes from? Where's this money coming from?
Where's this money coming from? And he's like looking at the bank account, like, where'd that shirt come from? Where'd that come from?
We weren't making the most money at that point. We were struggling a little bit. We were working job. I was bouncing around job to job. She had a steady job, but was pulling in a modest income at best.
At best.
So when she started coming out with all these new clothes, I was like, what's going on? How is this happening? How do you have enough money to buy all these clothes and still do what we need to do? So
yeah, and it was hard because we were living with his mother.
Yep.
We got married, and we
got married while we were living with my mother.
While we were living with his mother, not at her house. But yeah, we had our wedding, our honeymoon, all that. And we said, we're still living at home. And it stunk because like we were making some money. We were paying our bills. We were just living. We weren't getting ahead. We weren't really like saving much. And it was almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like once there was a little bit of savings, you know, then all of a sudden the car needed brakes.
We were treading water. We tried to stay above water as best we could, but it was tough with what was going on. So for me, I had job after job, and I would work a job for a couple of months and then lose the job and have to find another one. And it was a never-ending cycle for me. We finally figured out what was going on with me. I went to a psychiatrist and found out that I had bipolar disorder, and that's why I'd have these extreme ups and then extreme downs where I wouldn't go to work and I'd lose my job, and the cycle would start all over again. So that was really when I found that out. That was when I started to hold a full-time job, and that's when she started to kick Poshmark into full gear. So that's when she really started making the money, and that's how that began. So we really got into a good place fast after I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And it put us in the right frame of mind to take something like this on and go full on with it.
I still didn't really understand like where people were getting all these clothes to put in their closets. Now I had sold a little bit on eBay before, but it was just like getting rid of some stuff that I had around the house. It wasn't like reselling. And I still couldn't understand where people were getting all this stuff, because I'm like, if I keep selling all my clothes, I'm going to be naked, and that's not good. So my mother-in-law was giving me clothes.
Depends on who you ask, right?
My mother-in-law was giving me her clothes. Luckily, she's a shopaholic. I was asking friends. So I was slowly curating like this closet and like growing a following on Poshmark and making sales. And then I actually saw like my numbers, and I'm like looking at like zeros and like comma, and I'm like, wow, like holy crud, you know?
It's at this point that she really got obsessed with Poshmark. I called it an obsession at first because I didn't understand what the hell she was doing. I had no idea. She was always on her phone. She was always doing this and that and spending every waking moment that she had devoted to work, to Poshmark. And I got a little snippy at times. I was like, why are you doing this so much? What's going on here?
You're always on your phone. And you're always on your iPad.
And then she showed me. She really put her money where her mouth was.
Yes, I did.
Made it happen. So
this is why I'm doing this. This is why when I work my job, like I didn't work a full 40-hour job. I worked a 34-hour job Monday through Thursday. So I had a 3-day weekend, so I had a little bit more time than most people that do 40 hours. But yeah, and then all of a sudden my spare time, where it was like our time, you know, couple time, all of a sudden my face is in my iPad. Or I'm like, I gotta go ship stuff.
She would even be on her phone during dinner.
Yeah, and I hate that.
During dinner.
Go to dinner. During dinner.
Yeah. Hey, money is money. You know, you're making money, and you want to keep making money. So yeah, I turned into the phone at the dinner table, which I used to hate so much. But it's not like I was texting somebody or, you know, I was making money. Yep. So yeah, then I started researching and figuring out like how I can acquire clothing. And that's when I just kicked it into gear. And I was like, I educated myself. I learn every day. I keep studying things. I keep learning what's selling. And like, there are some brands that like I sell on the regular that I didn't know existed like a year and a half ago. I had no idea what Free People was. I was like, Free People? Who are these people that need to go? Where are they stuck? Like, I don't understand, you know? I didn't Anthropology. I didn't even know how to say that word. And so it's like, I know all this stuff that like, asked me like a little over a year ago, I'd be like, no. She has,
I mean, I'm so impressed with how far she's come in a year, and she taught me everything I know. I have my own Poshmark closet now. I started in October. I was still working at the time. So we were doing Poshmark part-time. She was running it most of the time. And then when I got home from work, I would run it. And that was right when I started going to sourcing. And I made a ton of mistakes when I went out sourcing. I didn't know one thing from another. Yeah, she doesn't know about men's stuff. So I would pick something up and be like, oh, this looks cool. This has got to sell because it's cool looking. And we would sit on it forever, or we would sell for like $10. Or
I think we still have a few.
We do still have a few of those things.
Well, we've all made those mistakes before. You know what I mean? Like when I first started going, I would buy things that I thought were cool, and then they wouldn't sell. So it's just part of the learning process. But I tell you guys, when we met, what was it, about a month or two ago at our
a little longer than that, right? 2 months ago or something. Yeah. At the Thrifty meetup.
I was so impressed by you guys working as a team. Like we went thrifting all day long. We must have hit 4 or 5 stores, and I was so impressed with how you guys work together, and you guys were splitting up and bringing it together. I thought it was really, really cool. So let's shout some people out in the comments right now, because we have a lot to cover right now. And I think everybody who's watching knows exactly why I was so excited to bring you guys on, because these guys are freaking awesome. Like you can just tell based on the energy, they love what they do. I want to read a comment that came from Elisa Goldman saying, thanks for interviewing the Thrifty Flamingo. They're one of my favorite, mainly Poshmark people. So there's a lot of amazing comments coming in right now. And I want to know, for the people who are watching live right now, I want to know who here is selling on Poshmark. If you guys are Posh marketers, I don't know, what's the word? What's the word for people who
Poshonistas?
Poshers? I've heard that term. I did not come up with it. I did not know. I've heard a posher or a poshonista. Posher would probably be the
Poshonista sounds too fun, though, right? You got to use that.
It is fun. Would you ever call yourself a poshonista?
No.
I would.
So we got a lot of people. I like it right there. If you're a Poshonista, Posher, whatever they're saying, put it in the comments. Let us know. We got a $20 super chat from Jacob Topping, who I think he's given me like $90 over the last 3 days. So we got to give a big shout out to Jacob, man. He must be making those poshing profits, because he is dropping a lot of profits in the comments right now. We got David and Angela saying hello. We've got Joe Frame, Jimmy Johnson saying smash it, Stephanie, Mike 18. We have 178 people watching live right now. So guys, smash that like button. Check out the Thrifty Flamingo on YouTube. Links are in the description. Also, I want to mention, I'm going to be going over to their place on Wednesday, and we're going to be shooting a bunch of videos together. So there's going to be a lot more videos coming out, and we're going to be doing a little Poshmark workshop together. And if you guys want to see that, we've got some stuff behind the scenes. Check the first link in the description. Essentially, you're just going to put in your email, and when that workshop comes out, we're going to send you guys a bunch of exclusive videos. So be sure to check that out. But let's get into it, guys. Hit that like button, show some love, and let's jump in. So first question I want to ask you guys, and I know you kind of covered a couple of these questions already, but I really want to dive deeper into them. The first question I have pertains to why sell on Poshmark versus eBay, because a lot of people who are watching right now have been selling on eBay for years. Okay. We probably have a lot of Amazon sellers as well, but a lot of these used items like used clothing, different antiques and various items, you can't really sell it on Amazon effectively. So there's a lot of eBay sellers watching, looking to increase their distribution, get more visibility and sell more products. So why Poshmark instead of focusing all your efforts on eBay, which has been known to be kind of like the proving stomping grounds essentially over the years?
There's a few reasons. The biggest reason is money. Now, Poshmark is just for clothing and accessories, shoes, anything you can wear. So eBay, for the most part, you could sell your kitchen sink. Poshmark's like just clothing, so it's money. Now, we've sold it on eBay. We've sold clothes on eBay. We make more money per piece.
It's about
on Poshmark.
It's about 20 to 25% more on Poshmark. So what it essentially does is it eliminates the fees. So you're getting full profit for these items because you're selling them for a higher percentage. So it eliminates all the fees that you have to worry about. So you're getting pure profit that you'd be making the same on eBay as you are on Poshmark without.
Well, break that down. How they can't just be eliminating all the fees, because on eBay, on eBay you've got the insertion fees, then you have the selling fees, which typically come to about 10%, then 3% PayPal. So you're looking around 13%, give or take, based on if you have a store or whatnot. What are we looking at with Poshmark? Let's break that down.
Poshmark is 20%. So it's anything over $15, they take a flat cut of 20%. Everything else, the 80% is yours. Anything under $15 is a flat rate of $2.95. So some people are going, okay, 13-ish percent, 20%, that's a no-brainer. Poshmark is I do make higher priced items on Poshmark for the same item. You can do the same comp on both sites and see a higher sell price for the exact same item on Poshmark.
Like Amazon and eBay.
Yeah. So that's what he's saying. That's where it kind of evens out. Obviously, there's still fees. Now, Poshmark also makes shipping extremely easy.
Oh, it's so easy.
There is no buyer. The seller never pays for shipping unless they include it in like a bundle discount, like as a bonus feature. But it's always the buyer paying for the shipping. It's a flat rate of $6.49. It's priority mail. It's not, you don't have to weigh your packages. You don't have.
It's up to 5 pounds.
Up to 5 pounds. Unless you sell like a lot of things or really heavy boots or something like that, you rarely have to weigh a package. It's not, okay, is this first class? Does this fit in a flat rate padded envelope? There's no guesswork. You can put it in practically any receptacle and send it and slap a label on it and it's good. So it's very easy. I like easy.
Now, this is one of the things that I like the most about Poshmark is you can really create and generate your own sales through self-shares, through sharing your products, through private offers to likers. So if somebody likes your item, you can send out a private offer to them and it'll get sent to 9 or 10 people if you have 9 or 10 likes on that item. And you can really create a sale out of nothing. Like if you're not having a great day and you want to get a sale, you send out an offer like that, or you start sharing, you ramp up your sharing. And you can create your own destiny on Poshmark that way. eBay is like a set it and forget it almost. You put it up there, you can do a few things, you can promote your listings, and you can do that stuff. But
run a sale.
There's not as much control to producing an audience to your item as opposed to Poshmark, which is really a great audience that you can create.
It's almost like social media combined with it is social media combined with a selling platform.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. It seems like it's more of like a community. And I feel like that's where kind of the future is going with buying and selling is more interactive. We have the technology. eBay is like you list it, you forget it, it's done. It's like, it doesn't feel, you don't feel very connected. It feels kind of outdated.
Yeah.
I've never listed or sold anything on Poshmark, guys. So like I am a student right now, soaking it all up. So you talked about you could get likes and stuff on it, and then you can invite people. Let's talk more about this social interaction.
Sure.
You know, is it really easy to set up? Is it really, because I've messed with different softwares and selling platforms. Sometimes it's super complicated. Would you say that Poshmark is intuitive to learn how to do all this stuff?
I granted, he had me. Okay.
I did.
And I've known the platform, but if he can learn it quickly without having to run to me about every little thing, and he did, he learned it really quickly. It's very user friendly.
Yeah.
Now, it is like social media. When just like an eBay store, and you name your store, you have what's known as a closet. And that is your like screen name, or your actual, your closet name is your handle.
Like your store name.
Yeah, exactly. So they call it a closet instead of a store. Cutesy, you know, where are your clothes in? Your clothes are in your closet. So it's your closet, and then you can tag people whether they follow you or not, like Twitter, how you can, you know, at whoever on Twitter, and you can connect with people. People that aren't following you can ask you questions about items. You can share things to other people's dressing rooms. I know you don't know what that is, but it's a huge community, and there's a lot of people that take it really seriously. There's a lot of new users that are coming into the fold. Poshmark's growing
tremendously,
like so fast. I had the pleasure of going to PoshFest, which is their annual convention every year, and I went last October. It was in Chicago.
Chicago, right? Yeah.
And it was the first PoshFest that sold out, and then there was demand for more tickets. So it's just multiplying. And
so I use
the community.
Then there's a lot of great events throughout the day on Poshmark. They have certain parties throughout each day where you can share specific items to that party, and people will see your items that are looking for items of that nature, like showcasing, right? And then they have a nighttime party where you can share every item in your closet to that party. And whoever's online at that point will be able to see what you're sharing, and can potentially make a purchase. So sharing is really great on Poshmark. It's key to Poshmark, and it's key to your success.
Where on, like, say a platform like eBay, you have to actively search the item or be already following the seller, or it might get in front of you by accident. But no, like on Poshmark, you don't need to be following each other to actually come across my item or his item or anybody's item, because they offer you 4 different showrooms throughout the day where you can show your stuff for free. There are no insertion fees.
Right.
The app is free. You can list as much as you want, as many items as you want. You can list one item, you can list thousands of items. They want you to list thousands of items. The only thing that Poshmark takes is their top of the 20, their 20%. That's it. So yeah, eBay's fees are less, but they also could nickel and dime people who are not an eBay store, who don't have that with the insertion fees. They could definitely get nickel and dime to that.
Right.
Where Poshmark, it's just 20%, and you can list whatever.
So let me ask you guys a question. I'm curious. One thing that concerns me about Poshmark, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this, is the amount of traffic which is visiting the store. Let me give you a real life example. I use a Google Chrome extension called SimilarWeb. I'm looking at another computer, and I'm looking at Etsy.com. They receive around 200 million views per month to their platform. Amazon gets 2.6 billion views per month. eBay is at 1.4 billion views. And I just looked up Poshmark, and Poshmark's coming in at 15.1 million. So it is significantly lower in terms of traffic.
Right.
And that's the reason why we all sell on these platforms, is to utilize traffic, because we don't want to have to do email marketing, retargeting, setting up pixels, and, having to do everything. That's why we use these platforms. So what are your thoughts when Poshmark's traffic is 10 to 100 times less than some of these other platforms? How would you rebuttal that?
Well, there's a few things you got to keep in mind first. Poshmark really just started back?
Not even okay. So Poshmark started off just women's clothes and accessories.
Women's, right.
It was that's it. It was prohibited to sell kids' clothes. It was prohibited to sell men's clothes. They really had just a small market. So there is part of the answer right there. You take out half the genders and cut out the kids,
right.
you know? So a little bit over a year ago, Poshmark realized their mistake, and they were like, well, we need to include men. We need to include children's clothes. We need to have, if you can wear it, you can sell it. So they just started allowing this, and then a year within the app is not that long of a time. So that now they're actively, you know, getting men to join Poshmark, obviously kids don't join Poshmark, but mothers are more likely to start shopping their kids' clothes because kids grow so fast, they'd rather buy secondhand. So it is growing.
Yeah, they're advertising it on TV now. They have commercials for Poshmark where they
get men followers.
Get men followers all the time. So it's still in its infancy right now, and it's growing. So it's like with anything, it has to start somewhere and then grow. And it's been having some great growth in the past couple of years, and it's really growing fast. So it's gonna get to that point where there's a billion people on Poshmark at one point in time, and it's gonna happen. So it's the way I look at it is like you're getting it on the ground floor. You're starting out on a platform where the people who are on that platform are looking for the items you're selling, and they're looking to pay a higher percentage for those items. So you have target viewers already on Poshmark. The people that are there they know what they're looking for, and they look for your stuff, and you're going to sell it if you're sourcing the right items. So I don't look at the numbers as really a handicap to anything. The numbers are just the numbers. And we're still making a ton of sales, and we plan on doubling our income this year alone just with Poshmark, and it's growing great. So there's definitely growth and potential with Poshmark.
I've run tests. I mean, I wouldn't call them like these humongous laboratory tests, but I've gotten items that I've gotten things that were like the exact same item. You know, whether it be like, you know, a return sale or like a new without tags type thing, like a liquidation sale. And I've gotten the exact two items, exact same size, exact same color. And guess what I did? I put them on each website. I put them on Poshmark. I put them on eBay, you know, and I looked at the comps on both. Poshmark was listed higher. Poshmark sold first. Now I did do it a few times. There was once that eBay won. eBay won once, you know, and it's like, fine, that's fine. You know, that's fine. A sale is a sale, you know, and we do occasionally put some clothes on eBay. eBay is kind of like our liquidation part when something's not quite moving on Poshmark for whatever reason, because we're still learning and we're still growing. Every day I'm learning, every day I'm growing and teaching him, and he's learning, and we have made bad buys. Who hasn't? I bet you every single person watching this has made a horrible buy or 2 or 5 or 10. And that's where we put those things. That's what eBay, our clothing goes. It goes to eBay because it's kind of like marking it down.
We also cross-list certain things as well. So we will cross-list on both platforms to get double the exposure for that item. So that's another benefit to having Poshmark and using it, is you can cross-list your eBay clothes to Poshmark and get double the exposure to that one item. So like now you have them on both eBay and Poshmark, you're getting views on both platforms, and it can sell twice as quick.
You have to be careful when cross-listing though, because you do have the potential of selling a single item to 2 people, like pretty quickly. You know, it could double sell. So yeah, if you ever plan on doing that, you got to be on your game in order to be diligent with it. Yeah. Whatever other site it didn't sell on, even if it's another selling app, just be diligent on taking it down, because nobody wants to have to cancel an order or have somebody mad at them because sorry, I sold it to some other dude yesterday. I forgot to take it down. That's bad business, you know. That just stinks.
So do you guys use any softwares or anything like that? I know a lot of people use Joe Lister for eBay and Amazon and different things. Do you have a software, or do you have a process for being able to effectively and efficiently cross promote them?
So when I was like, okay, I'm going to start putting a few things on eBay that weren't moving, I was seeking out this software because I know they exist. I know it exists, like what you were just mentioning. From what I can tell, there's no software to go onto Poshmark. If there is, let me know about it. I've been looking. It's not that difficult to cross list without software. It's literally copying and pasting. your description and your title. Poshmark, you know, it's very similar length for a title. You have a description. You always include measurements, no matter what site you're selling on. So it's a lot of, you can just copy and paste. Poshmark started off as an app, but now they also have Poshmark.com where you used to just be able to view the clothing online. Now you can also list online. So when we're cross-listing, we just have 2 tabs open on top of the computer. We just copy and paste or copy it back and forth and use the same photos.
And Poshmark is always changing and updating. So we don't know whether they're going to come out with software in the future or be compatible with certain softwares. It's probably something that they will plan on doing, because I know a lot of the users on Poshmark are doing cross-listing, and they have eBay and Poshmark, and they do Amazon, and they do all avenues of reselling. So it's something that is probably on their radar that they're going to have coming down the pipeline down the road. And we're going to definitely keep an eye out for that.
They do definitely listen to the sellers. For the longest time, when they emailed you a shipping label, it would come in a PDF. And for those of us who use thermal printers, it wasn't formatted for a thermal printer. So it's like, this thermal printer is supposed to make my life so easy and just spit out all these labels. And I'm spending like half the time reformatting it to barely fit on the thing, you know? But I sent 2 emails to Poshmark, and I was like, am I just missing something? Like, how my labels look all screwy? And I guess enough people have said it, and they updated. Now you can either choose a PDF or a 4x6 when they email you it. So they do listen to their sellers, and if the squeaky wheel gets fixed, and they do, they're trying, because without their sellers, they're nothing. Where's their 20%? Because they don't have insertion fees. They have no other way to get their money from you unless you sell. So if their sellers are saying, hey, help, this or that, they're going, and enough people do it, they're going to make a good effort to fix it.
Yeah.
Because what happens if we just leave and go, we're going to go to the dark side? Then, 20% for them, you know?
So there's a bunch of questions coming in right now. I do want to make sure to show respect to everybody in the comments. So if you guys have any questions, ask away. We're really trying to go into detail and depth, and I'm just letting these guys talk because you guys are here to listen to these guys. They've been crushing it. From $0 to $36,000 in about a year selling on Poshmark. They have big goals and aspirations to continue growing that. And with the traffic increasing, the awareness increasing, I have no doubt that they're going to be able to do it. And I have no doubt that for the folks that are watching, if you're looking to increase your sales online, if you're selling clothing, because right now it's only clothing, correct?
Right. Yes. Clothing and accessories.
You're selling clothing. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer. So you said accessories, so hats and belts and different things like that.
And exactly.
Earrings, jewelry,
watches,
anything you could put on your body, pretty much. Makeup if it's new, you know. So anything you can adorn yourself with, pretty much, or a handbag. Bags are included.
No barbecue grills, no board games, no.
Turkey fryers.
Yeah, no turkey fryers.
So you guys are in the right place who are watching, because this is a great opportunity, it appears right now. And we're going to be doing a bunch more videos. Again, like I mentioned, if you haven't already, take a second, open up a tab, go to the first link below and join our free Poshmark workshop. I'm going to their house literally Wednesday. I'm getting there at 11 a.m. on the dot. I'm going to be knocking on your door with a tripod and camera. We're shooting a bunch of vids. So get on that email list so you're the first one to get the information. But a couple questions, guys. Let me jump in. You guys ask questions if you have any. I know you mentioned this before, but let me go over it real quick. Stephanie Grader, good to see you. Stephanie says, only thing that sucks about Poshmark is you can't use laptop or desktop. Has to be a phone, which can take longer. Is that true, or is that something that used to be a rule?
It used to be.
Okay, so they changed
it. Well, because it was just created as an app at first. It was literally an app development. It was like the whole concept was like, you got something in your closet, shoot it with your phone, list it in 5 minutes, make some money, get some new clothes. It was really just like a really girly, like get new clothes, get new purses, and it blossomed into what it is. And they changed. Like I said, they constantly listen to the community and they try to adapt. So they went to a website, which was just for viewing. So, because they want people to purchase these items too.
I love it.
And then they made the website live for listing. So you can list on Poshmark.com. You can list from your desktop or laptop. Yes.
Okay, cool. Super cool. Vinny B came in and said, hey, Steve, just curious how much capital did your featured guests start off with to essentially go from 0 to 36,000 in a year? So how much capital did you have when you were starting this business? Because I know a lot of people watching, you know, don't have much.
We started out with nothing.
My clothes.
Her clothes.
My clothes. Me, because like I said, I didn't know how to acquire inventory. I didn't know what a reseller was. And I was just flipping my own clothes and asking my friends. I was getting really clever with my friends. I was like, hey, you know, it's springtime. You know, if there's anything that doesn't really fit you, can I go through that real quick? And I was asking my mother-in-law, luckily a shopaholic. So I got a lot of free inventory in the beginning, which started my bankroll, which started me going, my numbers going higher. And then, you know, the knowledge and the researching and talking a lot to my old boss,
right,
who was also an entrepreneur. And I was like, how do I do this?
Yeah, if you have a closet at home, you're sitting on gold, and that gold can be converted into cash, and then you build your bankroll and you start to source and reinvest in the business, and it just snowballs. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we look at things, if we haven't worn them in 6 months, we put them on Poshmark and sell them. And
for the most part, I mean, granted, I'm not selling my wedding dress. No, I have not worn that in 6 months. Probably not gonna fit me anymore. But you know, there's certain things, yeah, if it's really sentimental to you or you have it for a very specific reason, sure, hang on to it. But if you're not going to wear it, everybody's style changes. Trends change, like what's fashionable in the world outside your door changes all the time. So that you change and you kind of adjust like what you're feeling that day or that week or even that like time of year. So if you're not going to wear it and you haven't worn it, you're sitting on something that could make you money because somebody will want it. I promise you, somebody out there will want it. Trends are different throughout the whole country. What's popular in one area is not so popular in another area. And all over the place. So
yeah, just because you don't love it anymore, it doesn't mean somebody else won't love it too. So it's,
what do I tell you?
There's something for everyone out there. So
it really is. Yeah. So you can start making money on your own closet.
Perfect. We got a bunch of people asking, can you use PayPal? How do you get paid with Poshmark?
Okay. So PayPal, you can use PayPal on Poshmark to check out for a purchase. So if you are a buyer, because sometimes people go selling and they see stuff too and they want to buy and kind of like get things cheaper than going to a store, you can check out as a buyer on PayPal. You cannot redeem your withdrawing into PayPal at this time. Right now, the only way to get your money from Poshmark, there's 2 different methods. You could get direct deposit into your bank account. It just like a normal paycheck, but old school paychecks, you know, direct deposit into your bank account. Or they can cut you a paper check and send it to you through the snail mail. I have never done number 2. I've always just had money magically appear in my account. And the first withdrawal usually takes a couple more days because they have to verify the bank, make sure it's a real place, make sure that the routing number and everything, that they're not just sending hundreds of dollars to like Nowheresville, you know. But once they verify the bank, unless it's the weekend, I get my money in 2 days.
And it actually makes things a lot easier with PayPal. If you don't have that PayPal debit card, you have to wait. You have to get the money into PayPal and then transfer it into your bank account. So it's almost like a middleman from your money from eBay to PayPal to the bank account. Poshmark eliminates that middleman and just gives you direct access to your money. As soon as you withdraw it, it comes right to your bank. The
other thing that's really good, well, not really good, but what I like about it is Poshmark takes their 20% off, like the moment the item sells. When you get your money and you're redeemable, you don't have that monthly bill like on a lot of sites. You don't have to, okay, here's your bill for the month for your 13% or whatever it is. You owe this. And some people that are selling pretty decently, they want to kick themselves when that bill comes in. We never see that money. We get paid everything that's ours every single time. So there's no ever any payback to it. I love that part about it. There's no, what time of the month is it? Yep. Oh, got to pay that bill again. You know, it's who wants a bill?
Right.
I don't want a bill. I already got enough of
one either.
I got enough of those already.
Cool. So let me ask you guys, with eBay, you know, you sit down, you inspect the item, you measure it all out, you get it all ready for the listing, you take your pictures, you list it up. What's your process once you list your item on Poshmark? You took your pictures, measurements, all that good stuff, item specifics. What's your process for improving the odds of you selling it, right? With eBay, you can run sponsored ads. I know there are some promotional features that not many people use. I never really used them. You could run a sale on your eBay store, and that could help you to boost, obviously optimizing your keywords on eBay, taking great pictures. Trying to think of anything else I would do to increase sales. But I know Poshmark's a different beast. You've got the parties and closets and sharing. I don't even know what these things are. They sound awesome. Like, what's your next step after you list your item on Poshmark?
A lot of what you said is true also for Poshmark. You do have to pay attention to your title. Your title and your description are completely searchable. You also should turn on Google search, like visibility. That's in the app. So you can also come up in a Google search. Make sure your photos are good. I guess that any place you want to sell something, you have to have a searchable title. You have to have nice photos, or who's going to buy it? It doesn't really matter where you're selling on. Now, past that, once you list something, if it's not getting much traction, then you really have to start doing an internal look. How are my photos? If your photos are good and you're really kind of looking at the listing and it's still not getting much attention, now you got to look at the pricing. Am I pricing a little too high? Am I pricing too low? You can price too low, and then people think, what's wrong with it? Like, why is this so cheap when everybody else is pricing this high, So, you have to start kind of dissecting like what you put up, and you can price adjust.
Yep, you can run sales on your item. You can drop the item to whatever number you want. You can drop it. There's a little calculator button in the app that you can drop 10% on, so you can drop it 10%. You can drop it 20, 30. You can set your own prices and run your own sales if something's not selling. And
then you keep sharing it.
You keep sharing and sharing and sharing, and more people are going to see your item, and it's going to sell. So there are all those similar features that eBay has with promotions and all that on Poshmark as well.
What are these parties all about?
They're pretty much virtual showrooms. And so they happen 4 times a day, and Poshmark picks what they are. They have kind of like theme
best
ones.
in jeans,
Best
kids,
in
everything,
jeans,
kids clothes.
Or like the first party always has like
Right.
brands like Anthropology, Free People, Lucky Brand. Like they have a few things. So if items in your closet fall into that category, you're able to share it to that showroom. So somebody that say is looking for a Free People top, and they say, oh, this Free People Anthropology Lucky Brand like party just happened, they don't have to search anything. They can like literally like look through an entire showroom full of everything that they're kind of like looking for, or that brand that they're looking for free. There's no, if you share it to the showroom, it's there. It's extra exposure for your item. So yeah, and then they have topics like best in jeans. Any pair of jeans can go into the showroom. So someone looking for jeans, easy place to find them all. Because sometimes as buyers, we want something, but we don't know exactly what we want. We don't know the exact keywords we're searching for. We know we want this awesome pair of jeans. Maybe we dreamt of it. Maybe it's in our mind's eye, but we don't know who makes them. We don't know exactly where to get them. We just need that picture to trigger our head going, oh, that's it. That's the jeans I'm looking for. I've done the same thing in real life.
Window shopping,
going to a mall saying, oh, I need a new outfit, but I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking for, but I think I know what I'm looking for. And then no one knows what you're talking about. So that's where these showrooms really help you, because then people go into these showrooms with these like vague ideas. And if your photos are good, they're going to stand out, because there's some people that just go click, 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 and don't take so much care or pride in their photos. And who's going to open that?
Yeah.
Who's going to look at that? So they're virtual showrooms, to answer your original question. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. So I want to ask everybody who is watching right now, I want to know, guys, if you are enjoying this show, do me a big favor and smash that like button. And I want to know, should I ask these two guys who are working together, they scaled from nothing with no money to $36,000 in the last year on Poshmark. I want to know, would you guys be interested in learning what some of the best items and maybe some of the best brands that sell on Poshmark are? If you guys are interested in hearing that, I want to do 2 things for me. 1, smash that like button, and 2, type the Thrifty Flamingo in the comments. Okay, we have 217 people watching live right now. So I want to test you guys. Are you listening? Are you really taking this all in? Okay? because I've realized in life, success isn't about passively listening. It's about taking it, absorbing it, and then going to apply it. So I want to know, first of all, you guys are listening, and if you guys are ready to apply some of this stuff that you are learning. Vinny B says, like it for show. We got Lisa saying, yes. Peggy is saying Thrifty Flamingo. We got Ivana saying Thrifty Flamingo. Beth, Ezra, Sherry, Elisa, Gina, Aaron. Okay. Aaron says the like button broke. So we literally broke the like button on YouTube.
Oh,
so,
I need the Band-Aid.
okay, guys. I am literally getting rich on this show right now. Jacob gave me a $10 super chat asking, can you ship internationally? And what about a VAT tax to the to European area? Is there international shipping?
There is not.
Okay, so
just in the United States and its territories.
So that was a $10 answer right there, Jacob. Hopefully you got your money's worth. And now Jacob is coming in with another $50 super chat. Jacob, man, do you have a rich grandfather or something? Because if you do, I'd like to meet him. $50 saying, I love this show. Poshmark rocks. Steve Rakin for president. No, he didn't say that. But he said, Steve Rakin, keep delivering the value. Jacob, I appreciate it, man. If you keep sending all these super chats, I'll have a lot more value to come for you. I don't know why that came off so weird, but I'm trying to see what other questions we have here. So let's dive into what sells best on Poshmark. Everybody came and said the Thrifty Flamingo. So let's say, what sells best? Is it the clothing? Is it the accessories? And maybe we could touch on a couple of your favorite brands.
Oh, definitely.
That people can go out and start to find where they can find it and start making some money on Poshmark.
So, well, in general, pricing, anything under $50 is an easy sale because people are willing to drop $40 on something because that's a more acceptable amount of money for most people. But a lot of the things that do really well on Poshmark are high-end brands, luxury brands. You got luxury purses and shoes,
right? Yeah.
Because a lot of these are like limited run. Or you can only get them in Paris or certain stores, and not everybody has access to those. So when people, use their high heels for like 1 or 2 times, and then they resell them for so much money because they're actually worth that. Sometimes you can even resell them more than they were like retail because they're highly sought after.
We call those the unicorns you try to find in the wild,
Trying to find that unicorn always.
But other things, people call her the jean queen. She sells a ton of jeans on Poshmark. Some great brands that are selling right now: Adriana Goldschmied, Mother, Page Jeans for women, Adriana Goldschmied for men, 7 for All Mankind. They're selling great.
Those are just kind of like bread and butter.
Bread and butter stuff. Yeah.
What was that one model? The 7 for All Mankind. There was this one specific model that you were showcasing to everybody at
the dojos. Yep.
The dojos. Those are like $50 a pop, right?
Those are sometimes even more. You get them in good condition, they'll go for $65, $70 a pop.
If like the hems aren't frayed, if they're the original trouser hem, if they haven't been altered to anything, I would guess and say under maybe a 29-inch inseam, because they come really long. Originally, they come with a 35-inch inseam for a woman. So most of them always have to get altered at some point. But yeah, if they're not altered all that crazy into an average like length, and they kept the original trouser hem in good condition, I've gotten like $80, $90 for dojos.
Lululemon is great on Poshmark too.
More like their leggings and stuff.
Yeah, we went to the bins. We found a Lululemon windbreaker, kind of fleece windbreaker. We picked it up for 55 cents. It sold for $75 on Poshmark.
Bro, you overpaid. You should have left that behind.
I'm like going. You guys know I'm going. And like this lady just like, she was like being all messy, like all rude, and like it went plop right in front of me, and I see like the little Lululemon symbol. I'm not doing it right, but yeah. And it was like, I don't know. There was like angel voices in my head all of a sudden, like, oh, and I was like, yes. How did that happen? That's never happened before. But
so
a
one
lot
of the things,
athletic wear too.
Yep, a lot of athletic wear.
And that's very popular.
There's some questions coming in. I want to say, guys, if you join the workshop, first link, we're going to do a video on, well, Jay and I were talking. We didn't run this by Karen, but hopefully you're cool with it. We wanted to do like a video of like how to ship your items out, because I don't want to give away too much right now, but Jay was telling me that it's actually a little different shipping your items, which I don't completely understand, but I'm not going to give away the secret now, but we're going to do a video on it when I come over. And if you get on that workshop, we will send that video out to you. But somebody was asking, do you foo-foo wrap orders? I don't even know what foo-foo wrap is.
We make them look nice. I'm sure that's what they meant. We make the orders look nice. We wrap them in tissue paper. We
just fold tissue paper around it with a little bit of like we have little cards. Some people write like hand notes, like thank you cards. I did that in the very beginning until my hands started cramping up. And when all of a sudden, like, I started rocketing and I was like, I can't write all these cards. It's taking too much time. So I just wanted this to print. Thank you. $14.99 for like all these cards. But yeah, I know some people really go overboard with the frou-frou. To each their own. That's the awesome thing about Poshmark is like it's your business. Yeah. And some people really try to like stand out from one another. Where eBay is almost like all the same. Like mindless drone, it's really hard to kind of like stand out, except for like pictures and stuff like that, or maybe like your banner once you're in the store. But like the shipping, it's all the same, and not just like reselling, but anytime you get something shipped to you from anywhere, Amazon, anywhere, it's just the item you got in an ugly old box. So, some people doing like a little frou-frou wrapping, they're trying to like surprise the person like, hey, there's actually a person behind this box. It didn't come down some conveyor belt.
I'll tell you.
It didn't just get mass produced.
I'll tell you one thing. She has gotten so many repeat buyers to her closet because of the way she handles and wraps her packages. People leave these comments. I love the packaging. I love that you took the time to package it like that. And they'll say, I'm definitely coming back to shop your closet again. And then they do. They come back and they buy from her again. So it works.
I just shipped one of my packages today. One of them was, she comes to my closet like at least once a month. And I know it was her. People like that, like repeat buyers, I'm going to jot something down because we have more of like a relationship.
Right.
And I want them to keep coming back. But yeah, I wouldn't say frou-frou. I've gotten some frou-frou Poshmark packages. I've opened one where, please do not put glitter in the package.
No glitter bombs.
Confetti. That's the one. Like the thicker glitter, like the really thick. And there was like stars and hearts and lightning bolts, and it's like all over my floor because I just like tore into the box. I didn't like open it pretty, and it just I was finding like little lightning bolts for months later, and I was like, please just don't do that. Don't frou-frou that much.
We got a comment from Sue Rollinger, really cool comment saying, I just sold a watch a minute ago on Poshmark for $100. I love Poshmark. I just listed it this morning.
Good for you, Sue.
Sue, crushing it. Another question that came in, I forgot who it came from, but someone was asking, do you find that new or used items sell better on Poshmark? Does it matter?
Question.
That's a very good question. So it really does depend. Sometimes when people are searching used items because they're out of market, like they don't make them anymore, and they will take it in any condition. Obviously, people want things that are new. They're going to want things that are new for cheaper or new without tags. That's a very high, like people love saying like, oh, it's never been worn. That's a great benefit to it. But if they can't find it new without tags and they find it in really good condition and they really want it, they're going to buy it used. There's a huge movement within the millennials to just buy used, and not just keep putting clothing into landfills and just like repeating the process of making it and destroying. And it's true. So a lot of people do buy used on purpose. It is a little bit cheaper than the new, or even the new without tags. It's a cheaper price point, and some people only have so much money.
You got to remember, with new with tags items, you're still selling on a reselling avenue, so you can't get retail prices for that item. You can't charge if something's worth $99 on the tag. You can't put that item up at $99 most of the time and expect to get it.
It has to be a rare item.
You need to be able to disconnect yourself from that item and realize that you're selling it at a discount. It's a discount sales site. You're going to have to take a hit on that cost and sell it for what you can get. But I mean, we find new with tags items in thrift stores all the time. So
I came home yesterday with like 2. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, a lot of times people that, don't do this as much as a business, but as like a hobby, or they're literally just clearing out their closet for a little extra cash. maybe they're trying to get a little bit money off of a like large luxury item that they have their eyes on, and they're just doing it like really casually. They sometimes don't quite understand pricing as much, and they say, oh, well, I spent $200 on this pair of jeans. I'm going to list it at $200. And they think that they can actually get back what they don't understand depreciation.
Right.
You know, and it's not everything once it goes, it's going to depreciate. Clothing depreciates too. And some people don't get that, you know, so you will find some like astronomically priced things as well, but just move on to the next item. Yep. Move on to my items.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I just want to apologize to some of the people who are watching. There are so many questions coming in, guys. Like, I don't want to let you guys down, but there's no way I'm going to be able to answer that. We're going to be able to answer all these questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take down some of these questions that we can't answer, and we'll be sure to answer them in the workshop and answer them in probably another live show as well, because these guys, you're going to be seeing a lot of them over the next week or two. So just want to say sorry about that, guys. Doing the best we can to keep things on track. Let me ask you guys a question. What are your roles when selling on Poshmark as a team? So a lot of people who probably sell are doing it on their own, but maybe there's a couple people watching who have a significant other or, you know, maybe an employee or something. What are your guys' roles when it comes to the business?
Okay, so we just kind of switched what we were doing, but we haven't implemented it yet. In the beginning, you know, when it was just me, I was very efficient at taking the photos. I was very efficient at pretty much the product and the photos. So I was like, that shouldn't really change. We do have a room in our house dedicated for studio space. It gets really great natural light. It has white walls. So when he started, you know, getting his own closet, I was like, I'll just take all the photos for everybody, and then I'll just airdrop them to you. And then we both list, we both do every other aspect of the business, but all the photography was on me. And it's starting to get to the point where, you know, I'm not getting as many photographs for my closet because I'm like dividing and conquering right now. So I'm training him to take photos. He has to get over the block in his own head. He's always, I'm not good at taking photos. I'm talking like a basic photo of you standing in front of him saying like, hey, you know, at an amusement park or something, can you take our photos? He's like, I'm not good at this. And the camera's like up here and he's staring at your feet. I'm learning. Yeah, but he's always kind of been that way. So it's not an excuse. Like I've seen some of his photos and he's ruined some photos. You can't get back again. So I'm training him. I just started
taking pictures of hard goods for eBay. So I
that's what we use
dove into that with hard goods, and she's actually in the process of teaching me how to take pictures of clothing, how to fold it right, how to set it right, how to style it right, and then take the picture. So she's training me how to do that now. So.
I was like, here, start with this book. It's not going to move. No excuses. It's not going to move. And it's like, start with the book, babe. So now we're getting to the point where we're both going to be taking photos of, he's taking men's photos, I'm taking women's photos, divide and conquer.
And then we both ship. We both
take
take care of packaging, not at the same time because we only have one computer and one thermal printer at the moment. But we both take turns packaging up the products. We both source together, but we source for different things when we go out to the thrift store. I'll source for men.
You've seen it.
She'll source for women. Sometimes if she needs help with the women's, I'll jump in there too. I know enough about jeans and stuff like that to do that. But
yeah,
like split that up.
Sometimes I'll have if I have like a really high sell-through rate like for a couple days and I just like my Poshmark goes crazy, I'm like I have to replace that product in my closet. And so sometimes I'm like, okay, we just need to go focus on my closet like right now and just go get some stuff. And he's gotten really good at women's clothes.
I don't wear them, but I know him.
No, I'm definitely proud of him. But every day is a little different, you know. So I packed today. He had to do computer work. Sometimes, you know, if we have a lot of listings to go up, we kind of like hash it out. And every morning we kind of come up with our schedule. We say what needs to be done, when it needs to be accomplished by, and what needs to get done to get to the end point. Because since we don't work an actual job, what's the first thing when you get hired at a place and you sign your name on your paperwork and they get your license or your social security card? They're like, okay, you know, you're hired. The first thing they give you is a schedule. You know, they tell you when you're working, what hours you're working. So that really shouldn't change. and especially with two of us that can't change,
Yep.
or we're not going to be efficient as a team. And so it's communication. It's saying, and once in a while, you know, I do suffer from migraines. I do get really, really bad migraines once in a while. And like, I'm inoperable when that happens. I have to take medicine and like literally lay in my bed with like in a pitch black room. And it stinks. You know, the business still goes on, everything still goes on, and he knows, you know, and I'm really happy that, you know, now he's very fully capable of like every aspect of the job, where if my head starts getting to like explosion level, like I don't have to worry about like, oh my goodness, I have like 8 things to list. He can list them. Granted, they're going to be in man speak, you know, man verbiage. But, you know, I also know that the next day I can wake up and kind of like make it not sound so manly. You know, men and women speak differently. And they, sure. So I know that it's not permanent. And so we're a really good team like that.
Yeah, we work hand in hand with each other.
Yep.
What do you guys think are some of the biggest mistakes that you see beginner Poshmarkers making? You know, you guys got a YouTube channel, the Thrifty Flamingo, which of course, if you guys are watching, go subscribe. But what are the biggest mistakes that people make? Maybe you see them making, you made. What do people need to avoid when after they watch this and they get started?
We actually just did a video on that, on the top 10 mistakes that new Poshers make when they get into Poshmark. The number one mistake that was on our list was not sharing enough.
Self-sharing enough.
Not self-sharing, right? You got to share your own stuff. You're going to create sales that way. You're going to increase your audience. You're going to increase your followers.
You're going to create hype. Yep. You know, people are going to see an item and not even know who you are and be like, wow, I really like that. And then they're going to investigate your closet. Then they're going to follow your closet, and they're possibly going to buy some things from your closet, and it kind of snowballs. So you need to be your biggest number one fan and share your own stuff. If you're not sharing your own stuff, like why? You need to care about your own stuff and care that like other people see it and promote it. It's self-promotion, and some people don't like shameless self-promotion, you know, and that's kind of what it is. Other things are more just keeping things professional.
Yeah, keeping professionalism in there.
Professionalism when it concerns talking to one another, because it's a community and because there's a very social network aspect to Poshmark. I see a lot of comments where people just, you know, they not even just slang, but they just call people like they're too familiar with them, and it's not so professional. Like I've been called doll and babe and oh ma and hun, and I'm like, hun, like babe, like what? Do you know me? Like I don't, like, very unprofessional. Now when you do make friends and you do get like, you know, you do develop like posh friends, you do get that, you make friends, that's okay to tone it down a bit because you know each other, but you know, just professionalism.
Another one, and this was on our list as well, is actually when you start sourcing, and you're not going to source right away, you're not going to be a pro at it, but over sourcing was a big mistake that we made in the beginning that everybody makes, creating a death pile, having that stuff that you just can't get listed, and over sourcing too much, spending too much money. It's a big mistake. So you got to find a healthy medium of when you go sourcing and how much you source and what you buy, so that you don't put yourself in overload of work, and make sure that you can handle it. And
one I do need to mention one because it was
one
10
more.
One more. We get so like programmed with our smartphones that when we get a new app, every single application says, do you want us to send you push notifications? What's everyone's automatic response? No way. No push notifications. No one wants them because we already get so many of them. Do not do that for Poshmark. Your push notifications are going to tell you when someone is speaking to you and saying, hey, you know, does this fit true to size? Is this really... Can it fit a size 10 foot and not a 9.5? You need to know when people are talking to you. You need to know when people are interested in an item, perhaps have bundled a couple items together and you can make an offer to them. Those sale promotions we were talking about. You need to know if you're having any sales. You need to know this stuff. So just don't turn off your push notifications in the beginning. Or if you had done that, go fix it. It's in your settings.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Perfect. Cool. So hopefully those tips will help you guys out to avoid making some of the biggest mistakes. So to wrap things up, we're getting to the 1 hour mark, and I want to keep you guys true to the time. Yeah, I mean, we flew through it. So for the folks watching, you are going to see a lot more of these guys. We're going to record record a lot more videos. We got a workshop coming up. You can check that out in the description. So don't worry, we're going to get to your questions in future videos. But to kind of wrap things up, guys, what are you really excited about in terms of your Poshmark business? I know you wanted to grow it, but what are your real goals, your inspirations? What are you really excited about? Just with the growth of Poshmark in general, more and more people are coming, the social aspect growing. What are you excited about in your business with Poshmark? What are your goals?
Okay, so I like to have kind of like audacious goals, like goals that are like really big. Poshmark has a wholesale portal where some people need to go buy from the manufacturer. Poshmark has manufacturers that will sell directly to the poshers or poshinistas once they complete a wholesale certificate. These products have never hit the store floor before. It's the first time being sold. Now, my big, hairy, audacious goal is going to be to be my own wholesaler, work with a wholesaler to have their closets of wholesalers, you know, and sell bulk to Posh.
Oh, cool.
That's where I want to kind of start.
So she wants to grow,
yeah, I want to. So when someone like says, "Oh my gosh, I like that T-shirt," yeah, I sell them in packs of 6, packs of 8. Take all 6 shirts, sell the crap out of them, make your money, you know. And so that's kind of like it's been in the back of my head. I'm excited about that while still, you know, networking and growing my closet and doing what I do every day.
So that's one big goal. You know, what really excited me about Poshmark, and it still excites me to this day, is the freedom that you get from it. If you can actually make it to the point where you can go full time and you're doing this at a full, and it's very easy to get there. If we can do it, anyone can do it, to be honest with you.
I didn't even know what I was doing at first. I was like, where are people getting clothes?
So going full time, the freedom that you get from that, we just have freedom to do all these other things. We say we're full-time poshers, but the amount of time we spend on Poshmark is really equivalent to about a part-time job. We're part-time. We do sourcing. We do other things during the day. We do a lot of different things to help the business grow and other avenues of the business. So you can make a full-time living working part-time with Poshmark, and that's what's so incredible about this business.
Yeah, I think some people think I'm like at home staring at my iPad like 24/7, like, and I'm not, you know, like I definitely have my push notifications on and respond when need to, but yeah, I'm not on it like 24/7. We have our hours that we do what we do. You know, we have the way we do things and run things, and when we share and when we don't. And yeah, it's what works for us. And we're not putting 40 hours.
No, we're definitely not putting 40 hours or 80 hours or overtime and all this stuff. It's a great benefit to working Poshmark.
Let me ask you guys one last question before we get going, because this really touches close to my heart, because I still remember what it was like when I was brand new and I had no idea what to do with Craigslist or even eBay at the time. For someone who's watching this and they're just struggling, they want to make more money because, I don't know, maybe they want to save up for their kids' college tuition, or they want to be able to pay their bills, or they want to have more freedom. They want to quit their job. I don't know what it is, but I know there's someone listening who really needs your help. You know, what advice would you give to that person? They're struggling, they're trying, they're really making an effort. Maybe it was with eBay or maybe it's with Poshmark, but it's just not working. What advice would you give them to end the show?
You know, if something's really not working, you have to switch gears a little bit. If you continue to do the same exact thing over and over and over, you're not going to get different results. How could you? So you have to self-analyze. If you are selling on eBay and it's very sluggish, you have to diversify. You have to go to I'm not just saying Poshmark, but yeah. Come to the dark side, please. Yeah, go to different websites, list on multiple platforms, get your product in front of multiple eyes, and then just continue to list. I know a lot of people get in these little funks, and they get like, you know, they're having like a bad week, bad couple days, and then the bad couple days turn into a bad week, and then they're like not motivated to do any aspect of the job, and then they're not listing as much. And we all know, no matter what website you're listing on, the more you list, the more you sell. So it's not that the website's the problem. you end up being your own worst enemy in the end. You
yeah,
just have
learn
to
and grow.
keep
That's
going.
keep learning, keep growing, and the more you learn, watch these YouTube channels. There's a ton of great reselling YouTube channels out there that are going to teach you everything from brands to how to work on Poshmark to how to sell on eBay. They're going to teach you everything. So check these channels out, learn from them, and grow, and then implement what you learn into your day-to-day. And before you know it, you're going to grow that business, and everything's going to start snowballing. There's going to be a point where it's going to click. You're doing everything right, and everything is just going to start snowballing to the point where you're making $4, $5, $6 grand a month just off of this business alone, just because you've learned and grew and made it happen.
I think sometimes people also don't give it as much as they should. And they think they have, and they're like, oh, I need all this money, I need to do this. And they're like, oh, all I have to do is list a few things here and there, and they're not seeing the results that they want. Everybody wants an easy fix. Everybody wants money, 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 money. Just give me money. And like, you have to work. The hustle is real. Like, you know, I list every single day. I source when I get low on what I can list. I'm already planning like where we're going, like where I'm going to find new product from. I get worried if I only have 5 things to list in a day. I'm like, I can only list 5 things. And it's like, he's like, oh, well, you have 5 things to list. I'm like, yeah, but it's only 5. Like, you know, I get really worried. So, you know, I think a lot of people just think some people try to put the bare minimum in and expect a lot more back, but you really do get back what you put into it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
No.
It's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some learning. But if you're willing to put that into your business, then you're going to get all that back tenfold. So it's put the hard work, put the effort in, learn how to source, learn how to list, learn how to take great photos, and you're gonna get great results.
He said this earlier. He said, at first I thought she was obsessed with the app. I was always in the phone. And I had told him, I said, I'm not obsessed, I'm determined.
Yeah, that's what she
said.
said.
I told him. I said, I'm
Big
determined.
difference, Jay. One will get you in the doghouse, the other will get you paid. Well, I'll tell you guys, I'm really, really grateful for your friendship. It was an awesome hour. A lot of people are thanking you. We got Messenger Business saying props to Reagan for bringing these people. We had Peggy saying thank you so much for this power hour. A lot of people are just really, really grateful, including myself, for you guys coming on. So thanks for kind of opening up this door, this opportunity. That's what this community is all about. That's what this YouTube channel is all about. Not only about helping you guys to make money, but bringing you guys various opportunities that you can look at and ask yourself, you know, does this fit my lifestyle? Do I want to try this or not? So, yeah, thanks so much, guys. Jason, Karen, for coming on. Be sure to give them a subscribe.
Subscribe to the Thrifty Flamingo. Get on our YouTube channel. Check it out. It's a great channel. She's put so much work into that channel.
Wow, look at this.
I've just come on recently. Once I left my job, she's put so much work into this channel. She's put her blood, sweat, and tears into it. So get on that subscriber list. Join the flock and
follow that flock.
You'll learn a ton from her.
Yeah, the content's really awesome, and even everything down to the thumbnails are phenomenal. Do you make the thumbnails, Karen?
I do.
She does.
I've said
Beautiful
this about myself multiple times. I'm very artistic, but I can't draw for crap. You know, I cannot draw, but I'm very artistic. I'm very crafty. I'm very I have an art mind, but I can't draw. So yeah, the thumbnails, that's me. that's me. Me expressing.
You guys are an awesome team. You guys are an awesome team. And for anyone watching who is in the New England area, we have a Connecticut thrifting meetup, which is going down Thursday, April 12th. So if you check on my channel, it's like 2 or 3 videos back. The title is Connecticut Thrifting Meetup. You can actually go to that video, go in the description, and join our private group. It's free. We're all just going out. We're thrifting all day on Thursday, all day. We're going out to dinner. We have a hotel. There's I was going to say beer pong.
Yeah, we're super excited about this meetup. This is going to be one of the best meetups to date. So
we're vlogging. I'm going to vlog it. I don't know about you guys. So if anyone misses it, I'm going to document it for you guys.
Yeah. I'll keep doing spotting flamingos in the wild.
I love it. Well, thank you guys. Thanks everybody watching. Shay Mom 17 is saying, "Oh," so Jason, he had some nice kind words. So I know Karen's going to appreciate that. Nicole, thank you. Jacob Topping, thank you so much for all the support. If you guys aren't following Jacob Topping, go check him out. He has some awesome content regarding to merch by Amazon, which is another great way to make income and even better passive income. So check out Jacob. Ralph, we got the Dancing Yorkie in here saying some nice words, Stephanie. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. Check out the Thrifty Flamingo. First link in the description. Be sure to get on the mailing list for the Poshmark workshop. I'm going to their house on Wednesday. There's going to be a lot of content coming, so get signed up there. With that being said, guys, we'll see you guys in the next video, probably within the next couple of days.
Have
Appreciate
a good
it.
night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.